My name's Quinton Richards and I'm the founder of a company called Verenigma. Verenigma analyses the sounds of voices in conversation in order to be able to determine the amount of affect or emotion in those voices. The purpose of which is to analyse the degree of stress suffered in particular situations, particularly in the elderly care market, and the interaction or the relationship between carers and their charges. Verenigma is the only company that attempts to analyse that relationship of care in terms of the degree of stress suffered or tranquility of the people in that interaction. And to that extent, we're doing something that's absolutely novel, using technology that's only been developed in the last 2 or 3 years. As a consequence of which, we had no comparable things to analyse it with. We know we're going to be superior to what's out there in the market, but to what extent and what value people attribute to it, we did not really know. We'd only undertaken an anecdotal search amongst our friends, the usual people close by and trusted advisors, but that's no substitute for going out to the market and finding out what people actually thought of the value of this system. Yeah, what we felt is that not only were we trying to find out what people would think of the service and the benefits that it would provide, but also in that relationship we'll be seeking to develop on a continuing basis, because it is a service that's been used continuously, the extent to which people would be prepared to pay for it, which we had an idea of, but it was totally anecdotal, and that doesn't really work in terms of being able to substantiate across the board what its value was, particularly if you're trying to segment the market, which we were attempting to do. So when we undertook this research, we went to Survey Mechanics to undertake this, who helped frame the questions and to clarify some of the issues in our own minds of what needed to be identified and ascertained for value. And we having sent those questions out, so to speak, to a targeted area, the answers came back with the values which were quite surprising. In terms, it was somewhat significantly larger than what we had originally thought, which is pleasing, obviously. But also, from our perspective, not having undertaken this before, the market research brought us closer to the market. It's actually a journey that everybody needs to make. What we found out from the market research is there was a much more robust set of statistics than we had envisaged. Obviously, this comes down to some extent to the quality of the questions which were asked anyhow. But more than that, the answers that we found were ones that we could directly use to take us on our next stage in the journey of getting to market. Well, what we were doing is getting something somewhat out of focus in the pricing model into something that's completely in focus. In terms of the market research, what was very pleasing about it is our pricing model we'd substantially undervalued, and that correspondingly that we could raise our sights as to what we could provide. And the important thing is not to leave the product underpriced.